there, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. Today, I'm going to share with you our 12-week update. I cannot believe that it's already been 12 weeks. I feel like I was just filming our 6-week update and I don't know how it's not still summer. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me reach my goals and shows YouTube that you think this content is valuable. I am planning, as they come in over on my Instagram, to be answering some of those questions that you have at the end of each one of these videos. As of yet, I haven't received any, but feel free to send them to me and I will do my best to answer them. 12 weeks. I legit have no idea how we got here. It is almost Halloween. It is actually pretty chilly outside today for my neck of the woods. I believe it's like in the 60s. I don't know how we're 12 weeks into school, but here we are. So I am going to share with you guys our 12-week update and just fill you in a little bit more on how things are going here in our secular homeschool. So as you guys know, we added a second kiddo this year. So far, she's been mostly really excited to do schoolwork with us, and it's gone really well incorporating both kids into our homeschool routine. So I am super thankful for that because I was initially, a little nervous, a little concerned, but something that we have had come up since the 6-week update is both the girls, we're just quite a big chunk into our schooling now. And just like with any kid, there's days they don't want to do it. So we have had at least one day with each kid where they are just not on board. They are not putting in the effort. It's just a struggle to get them going and into our homeschool day. So the way that I have chosen to handle that is just to send them away to the couch. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know that we homeschool together in the living room. I'll send them away to the couch, give them a few minutes, and tell them that it is entirely their choice, but they will be doing schoolwork today. So as soon as they are ready, they've collected themselves, moved on, and are ready to school with the rest of us, they are more than welcome to come back. So far, that approach has worked. So that's what we're doing to hopefully get them back in the folds of doing that. And like I said, we've only had to do it like once with both kiddos, but we have had to do it, and that is how we are handling that. Something that we are working on is our schedule, our time management, and making sure that we're doing all of the things in the time that we have to get them done. And we are really focusing on making sure that the girls are contributing to our household by doing their chores. So these are the things that as a family and as parents, we're really trying to focus on right now to help our entire home life run quite a bit smoother. Everything is easier when they're picking up after themselves and helping to shoulder some of this load. They're a little bit less inclined to leave behind a giant mess if they know they have to clean it up, or if they've cleaned it up in the first place and then, if they've swept the floor and then something gets spilled, they have a little bit more ownership over that. So that is what we are working on as far as, character traits, human building, parenting. Science. You guys know this year I totally went rogue and did my own entire piecemeal craziness of science. And I have to tell you, I love it. It is going so well. And I think a large chunk of the reason that it's going so well is that I am so invested, I am so motivated, and it is so exciting for me. So we just found out that Body Worlds is coming to our local museum of natural science. And so I was able to say, we're right at a good stopping spot. We are taking 3 weeks, this being the first week, and 2 more weeks to learn all about the human body, the systems of the human body, and the organs so that we can go and have a field trip. I'm hoping to have it on Halloween morning because it's spooky and that's fun, to get a first-hand view of what is inside the human body. These are real bodies that have been preserved. I'm so excited to, 1, learn about this with the girls, and 2, take them and see this exhibit. Paul and myself have seen it before. I think we saw it in Pittsburgh. probably a dozen years ago, and it was fantastic. So I'm super excited to be able to take the girls and show them this in real time, in real person, a real inside of a person. So that's super exciting to me. Science is still going great. Our favorites, guys. I told you in the 6-week update about Bambino and the All About Reading pre-reading. I do have videos on both of those coming up soon. But Marilyn fell in love with a sticker book out of her Timberdoodle kit, her PreK Timberdoodle kit called Sticker Jobs. And she blew right through that thing so fast. She loved it. So I think a certain big red dress someone is going to be bringing a lot more of those kind of stickery things because she's obsessed with them. Amelia is loving her Dr. Bonafide book, but she's really upset that I think it's just like the shoulder, arm, and hand. And so she wants to get the rest of them because she's having so much fun with this book about the bones in the body. So we might have to pick up a few more of those. My favorite right now, I have to tell you, I am so impressed with the way that Amelia is picking up multiplication from Matthew C. I honestly didn't know what to expect. There were a few things that I expected to get through quite easily with her, zeros. Anything times 0 is 0. Boom, done. Ones, anything times 1 is that number. Boom, done. There were some of these that I fully expected to be quite simple. But we're 12 weeks in and we've gone through zeros, ones, twos, fives, tens, nines, and now threes. They spend an entire week. There's an entire lesson on skip counting by the number. Like this week, she skip counted by 3. Next week, it will be multiplying by 3. I am so impressed with the way that she has picked this up. And I know that it is because of the way that the Matthew C program teaches it. And I honestly could not be happier with the progress that she is making in multiplication. We are about halfway done with 0 to 10 multiplication here, and we're 12 weeks in, and that to me is amazing. So I am so pleased with the way Matthew C is handling the multiplication. Matthew C Gamma, I think, is the level. And I do have a video showing exactly how we use that. I told you at the 6-week update some of the things that were much less scary than I had anticipated them being. And one of those things was first language lessons. I have kind of modified the way that we use this. I do the entire lesson, but I do not go back and reread the poems every day and have her recite that to me. I just don't see how that would foster a love of poetry. And it is not valuable in my opinion, so therefore we do not do it. And I do have an in-depth video on the first language lessons if you would like to see that. Mazda's Opal. So we have changed this up a little bit. I did, when I started using it, I was doing all of the reading out loud. Well, now we're into unit 3 and I am having her read the stories aloud to me, just to make sure she can, make sure she's really forming those words properly. So we have changed that up a little bit and I like it. It's going quite well. Spelling UC. My kiddo, for the first couple of years of her real school life, we did here's 10 words and you worked on them every day. And then on Friday you had a test, and her spelling is just abysmal. It is so bad. And she never seemed to retain anything from that. So we are now using spelling UC for the second year, where you go through and it's like a whole passage, like a whole paragraph, and you color code the common chunks of letters that go together, or tricky Y's or silent E's, but you're identifying those things that come up again and again in different words. So you're learning kind of the pieces of spelling versus memorizing how to spell the words. So you color code it every day for 5 days, and you rewrite part of it for the first 3 days. And then on the 4th day, it's you write it from dictation, but with help. If you have a question, you can ask. And then on the 5th day, it's strictly from dictation. And I have to tell you, I am very impressed with the way her spelling has improved so much with this method. And she enjoys reading the passages and learning the fun facts that are in the passages. So I can't see any reason to want to change that up anytime soon because she is really thriving with this system. I told you at the 6-week update that I did not love the creative and critical thinking, that it had changed from the building thinking skills that we were used to in 2nd grade. I've come around. It has, there were just a few days right in the beginning that were, it was like fractions and multiplying fractions, and we hadn't learned any of that yet. So I feel like with the exception of a couple lessons, it has been a little bit smoother going. There is still quite a bit that she will need help with or further explanation, but it's definitely causing her to stretch a bit, and that's not a bad thing. So my opinion of this has definitely softened, and I do appreciate it. Now, it just took me a little bit of time. I think it took her a little bit of time to really get in the groove of doing it. Okay, so progress. How are we doing? Right now, Amelia is absolutely loving writing. She's writing these little stories all on her own and coming up with all these little fun things. And so I am going to continue doing whatever I can to funnel into that love of writing. I'm also going to try to avoid critiquing every misspelling, but we'll get there. So right now, I'm really going to try to pour all that we can into that love of writing, that, making up little stories and the little doodles that go with them. She is really enjoying that. And so I'm going to keep fostering that however I can. We do need to work on getting in more of the kind of structured art pieces that did come with our Timberdoodle kit, because we haven't been doing that because she's been asking instead to write these little stories, which I'm super okay with, but I do feel like we maybe need to get in a little bit more of the other things, the Zentangles, the extreme dot to dots, and the painting kits that did come with our kit. Marilyn, guys, as you know, at 6 weeks, I knew this was coming. We are zipping through her mathematical reasoning and the All About Reading pre-reading. So we should be done by Christmas. I am thinking ahead to what to do in January and through the rest of our school year. So I am very hesitant to go ahead and jump to the next level of All About Reading. I don't necessarily want to get her an entire grade level ahead in reading. In the language arts reading programs, I don't see a huge benefit to that. I'm thinking about taking a left turn and using the reading lesson, not how to teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons. If you guys have any experience with the All About Reading level 1 and the reading lesson, can you please let me know, because I am just a bit unsure on what to do. I'm thinking that I like the idea of doing the reading lesson starting in January and then just kind of taking it through either until she finishes or until we've moved on in the fall to All About Reading level 1. It's just kind of extra practice, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have and do. And I do love the All About Reading programs though, so I'm really torn on what to do there. So if you have any insight on either one of those things, please let me know. It would be most helpful. Here is something that has come up a lot. So as more and more people have seen my unboxing videos and my update videos, there are big questions involving the story of the world and whether or not it is secular. So for Story of the World, we didn't start using that program until 2nd grade, and it came in our non-religious secular curriculum kit from Timberdoodle. So naturally, I did trust that it is a secular resource. We didn't start using it until the 2nd level, which is medieval times. There were some references to like the spread of Islam, famous churches that were erected during those times. And I don't view that as being non-secular. I don't view the discussion of a religion or the influence that that religion had as being particularly a religious endorsement. However, I have looked at the table of contents for volume 1, which was, I believe, ancient times or ancient civilizations. And it does have several chapters covering things like Moses, covering things like Christ and the crucifixion. I don't have have firsthand experience with how the story of the world approaches those. Because as far as I'm concerned, if it is informative, that is okay in my book, being a secular homeschooler. I am not going out of my way to keep any mention of religion away from my children, but I do not want curriculum pieces that do in fact endorse religion or endorse a certain set of beliefs. That is not my goal. I know that there is a website, I believe it is secularhomeschoolers.com, who has reviewed Story of the World and said that, you know, they do feel like it is almost neutral toward religion, so it does include it, but it doesn't necessarily endorse any certain type of belief. I've also seen reviews right on the Timberdoodle website that say that it is too secular because they include, information about Islam. So by all means, do your own research on these curriculum pieces and see if that suits your definition of secular and also how you want your children to learn. Don't just take anyone's word for it. By all means, do your own research. If you have experience with Story of the World Volume 1, will you please leave in the comments whether you felt like it was a neutral presentation of those religious topics that it covers, or if you felt like it was in fact endorsing, because I do not have that firsthand knowledge. So anything that you can offer to the community here would be a great, huge help and asset. Very much appreciated, because I myself believe, I think I'm getting that in next year's kit for my little one. So I would love to know ahead of time what to expect. We are officially done with our 12th week. We are 1/3 of the way through our planned school year, so I am super excited. If you have found anything here entertaining or informative, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Please scroll down, share any questions, comments, concerns, especially if you know about the reading lesson versus all about reading level 1 or the Story of the World volumes 1 and 2, because I don't have experience with those. So that would be most helpful. Thanks again, guys.